Stay frosty and head over to EasyMut.com for the cheapest MUT coins on the market. And when I say cheapest, I mean it. We're talking 1 million coins for around 40 bucks. Use code DIRECTOR for 5% off. Yo, what up, brothers? It's the Director. Chargers fans, the rumor mill. It is back in action, man. And this is a topic that we've already talked about once before, the possibility of superstar wide receiver Davante Adams joining the Los Angeles Chargers. Of course, we've already covered this topic, months ago when the initial rumor started to spark about Davante wanting to come play with Keenan Allen. And back then, if you watch the video, I don't think I gave us a super big chance of him coming to the Chargers because we didn't really know the situation. We didn't know the situation with Aaron Rodgers. We didn't know the situation with his contract extension, which I think at the time was leaning towards him staying in Green Bay. And we didn't really have that many connections to the Chargers. Well, here's an update video. Things have changed dramatically. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people are pointing, as far as evidence at right now, is that the Packers and Davante Adams have broken off long-term extension talks. That's pretty big. Because if you guys don't know, Davante Adams is going to be a free agent in 2022. So if they were going to keep their star wide receiver just the way like they're trying to keep their star quarterback, they probably should have done it right now. And again, reading articles, the news broke today. It's the talk of the town amongst NFL fans. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now, in these situations, sometimes you see certain players, you see certain, teams and stuff like that start advocating for that superstar to come to their team, specifically teams that might be in a comfortable playoff window. And right now, that player is Keenan Allen with the Los Angeles Chargers with brand new Justin Herbert quarterback, looking to add Davante Adams to the squad. And dudes, it has got Chargers fans so excited. We'll go over more of this, guys, in just a second. Lots and lots of stuff to unpack in the rumor mill today. Before we do get started, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. And also, as a reminder, we do have a giveaway going on right now, spreading the love out for the Chargers fans. This first one, a signed Joey Bosa football, is a shout out to all my subscribers. You can enter for this today. All you got to do is hit that like and sub button. Only subs can win. And then follow the link in the description. Follow the instructions there. Very, very simple. And additionally, if you are a member of my crew, I am giving away this signed number 85 Antonio Gates jersey to one of my crew members. Guys, again, thanks so much for everything you guys do around here, keeping the lights on. Really, really appreciate your guys' support. All you got to do to enter for this one is be a member of my crew. We'll be drawing names at the beginning of August. Now, with that, let's get into this video. Lights, camera, action. The Green Bay Packers and Davante Adams are unlikely to agree to an extension at this time, sources say. And of course, what does this do? This opens up a window for the superstar wide receiver to move destinations and continue his career with a new team. And honestly, this is pretty incredible, right? It's pretty incredible for the caliber of a talented player like Davante Adams to be on the move at this time. And I feel like when you see players like this, Keenan Allen, coming to terms here, say, hey, man, we need you out here in Los Angeles, Davante Adams. We want to see this wide receiver core go from amazing, honestly, with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams to absolutely stupid good. So he tweeted out early this morning, hey, Davante Adams, come on home, brother. Come on home. We want to see this happen. And again, Chargers fans going absolutely nuts at the thought of this absolutely being a possibility. But just one player went out and tweeted something, right? That doesn't mean anything, really. Or what's the likeliness that a Keenan Allen could recruit Davante Adams just because he wants to play on the same team? Well, recent history will show that that is actually a thing that could work, okay? Very, very recently, A.J. Brown, with his recruiting efforts, was able to bring Julio Jones to the Tennessee Titans. Of course, Chargers fans were really hoping for Julio to come to them as well. But really, this is a good example of a player advocating for someone to come join their team. And honestly, the Titans look to be in a really, really good position now that they do have Julio Jones on the squad. So I think this could be an absolute possibility, even with the recruiting efforts of Keenan Allen and other players, which I'll show you here in just a second, for Davante Adams to consider the Los Angeles Chargers for his next destination. Guys, just imagine with me for a second what this wide receiver duo, let alone rising stars like Josh Palmer and Mike Williams and Tyron Johnson. The Chargers wide receiver core already looks really good. Just imagine for a moment what the Chargers offense would look like with Davante Adams and Keenan Allen on the same team. Two of the biggest superstars when it comes to route running, moving the chains. This would be one of the most unstoppable air offenses in the game. And just as a reminder, guys, this isn't just a one-way street, right? Keenan Allen, you'll see down here the reply. He says, come on home, come on home. But Davante Adams earlier this year, and this is what we covered in the first video, Davante Adams also would very much so like to play with Keenan Allen. Earlier in the year, he tweeted, I just kind of want to remind y'all that me and Keenan Allen would go for 300 yards a game. I'd bet good night. That's insane. And you know what? It's probably not out of the realm of possibilities. Both those guys putting up 150 a game, they would be so impossible to stop. Which team in the NFL has enough DBs that they cover a Keenan Allen and a Davante Adams who both specialize in getting open? And it wasn't just Keenan Allen, dudes. I had other people sending me tweets and stuff saying, yo, director, look, even Sean Merriman's getting in on the action. The Chargers, man, I think the vibe in LA, the vibe with the Los Angeles Chargers, they want to see this pairing happen. When's the last time we've seen two wide receivers of that particular archetype join the same team? I can't really think, man. Antonio Brown and maybe Wallace a little bit. It's been a minute since we've seen that kind of dynamic duo on any team that seems almost unstoppable. So very interesting to see the Chargers players advocating for him to come over. And there has been shared interest between Davante Adams in the past of wanting to play with Keenan Allen. I do believe there was other quotes that he had or that he had made earlier before this tweet that we did share in the previous video. So why is this happening, guys? Why do we have a picture of Aaron Rodgers up there right now? I think something's happening in Green Bay. Unfortunately, if you're a Green Bay Packers fan watching this video, you're not going to like what I have to say next. The Green Bay Packers, I feel at this point, are about to implode, right? Aaron Rodgers has not been happy with the team for a very, very long time. And I feel like year in and year out, we hear the same kind of rumors. Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. He's not going to, whatever, right? Well, it's not until this year that I kind of started taking it seriously. It's not until this year, with the recent news, that the Green Bay Packers offered him the highest paid contract in maybe NFL history or even at the position of quarterback, and he rejected it. Aaron Rodgers said, the money doesn't matter to me at this point. The experience maybe in Green Bay, the lack of production from the front office, which in my opinion, the Green Bay front office is maybe even worse than the Chargers at time. They're really not that good out there, man. They've made some huge head-scratching moves throughout the offseason, and I think Aaron Rodgers is done with it. Honestly, I think he is. I do not think he's going to be playing in Green Bay this season. And I think that's going to have a trickling effect to its other stars because all of a sudden, Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl hopefuls every single year, might be even struggling to get into the playoffs after having to lean on guys like Jordan Love into the future. Of course, that could totally pan out for them. Maybe Jordan Love is the guy that they were hoping would take the torch from him eventually, but it's not Aaron Rodgers. And I don't think, as hopeful as you can be with even the huge superstars coming into the season this year, rookie quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, they're not going to be Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be very, very difficult to make that happen. So what if the Chargers did decide? What if the Chargers did decide to go after a Davante Adams? What would it cost? This is going to be a big question. I know a lot of people will be asking me throughout the video. Director, can we even afford a Davante Adams? Is this a smart move financially? Because, of course, the Chargers, we've got a pretty solid roster, right? But I do think there are areas that are incomplete, and the Chargers could maybe use some help. And I don't know if wide receiver is a position that a lot of Chargers fans think the Chargers need help in right now. Would it be maybe a little bit too much to go after Davante Adams? I mean, that wide receiver core would be absolutely stupid, but it would cost a lot of money. Right now, Davante Adams, you'll see his contract right here, very respectable. But one of the biggest reasons I think they're having a dispute to begin with is that he wants a pretty big extension, right? He becomes a free agent in 2021. He wants a fat contract to end out, the twilight years of his career. Of course, he is 28 years old. He's not too old. He's definitely not too young as well. 28 years old. he still has a lot left in the tank, and he wants to get paid, you know, in the highlight of his career. He is definitely in the best time in his career for his numbers production. He is definitely proven to be one of the best wide receivers in the league. But I think it's going to cost something, man. I think it's going to cost something in the realm, if we're talking an average, you know, monies per year, I think it's going to be around the realm of a DeAndre Hopkins, who signed a 2-year, $54 million contract with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around there. Now, if you look down here, couple receivers below, the Chargers are already paying quite a bit at the position of wide receiver with Keenan Allen, who's also making around $20 million annually. So if the Chargers were to pick up a Davante Adams, all of a sudden you're probably talking around $40-50 million annually just to the wide receiver position. Is that something the Chargers want to do? Is that something even the Chargers could afford? Well, I'm going to say yes. That's got to do with a lot to do with this guy right here, Justin Herbert. Generational talent. Came in for the Chargers last season, absolutely blew up the league, right? Offensive Rookie of the Year, the best rookie, you know, season that we've ever seen at the quarterback position. Justin Herbert's the real deal. But the cherry on top for Chargers fans, the cherry on top for the team, is that Justin Herbert's going to be on his rookie contract for quite a long time, right, guys? 2020, you'll see how much that we're paying him here. 4 years, $26 million. That's nothing for the quarterback position. And what that does is it opens up opportunities financially to bring in superstars, to bring in high caliber players. All of a sudden, you've got the money to spend. And if you've got a quarterback like Justin Herbert, which NFL teams do not stumble on talents like Justin Herbert very often, if you're the Chargers, if you're any team that's in that position, what do you want to do? You're going to want to capitalize on that opportunity. The opportunity does not come by very often. And if you've got the money, the wiggle money to make that happen, I say you got to give it a shot. And not even that, the Los Angeles Chargers, still a lot of Chargers fans super anxious over the season, have some money to spend. Still in the bank. $20 million still left in cap space. Of course, you have to remember the Chargers have still not yet signed first-round pick Rashawn Slater, so that's going to go down. That's still a lot of money in their back pocket. Think about it this way. If the Chargers were to sign Davante Adams, with the cap spaces they have right now, they could already pay a full year. Maybe like 0.8 of a full season already. They have the money to do it. But we also have to remember Keenan Allen is getting paid quite a bit by the Chargers too, so that's a lot of money to be advocated towards or to be used towards just the wide receiver position. Okay, but the Chargers do have the money to do it. And I would say in this opportunity, this window of opportunity with Justin Herbert, his cheap rookie contracts, you have the money to spend. This is the kind of move I think Super Bowl caliber teams make, right? When you're put in a position to really make a heavy run at the playoffs, you've got the money, you've got the rookie quarterback. We've seen it in the past with likes of Los Angeles Rams when they drafted Jared Goff. They went all in with free agents. We've seen it with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and a lot of those guys, all those guys made it to the Super Bowl. I think the Chargers are positioned to be able to do something very similar, but the question is, will they pull the trigger? And if they're willing to pull the trigger, could it actually happen? Could Keenan Allen and his efforts to get, Davante Adams to the Chargers actually make it work? And again, I'm going to point to this article right here. A.J. Brown stepped up and got Julio Jones over to the Tennessee Titans. So there has to be something. Players in the ears of coaches, coaches in the ears of GMs, GMs in the ears of owners. They want to see something happen as far as bringing in superstar talent. Because again, to make it to the Super Bowl, you can't just be good. You got to be stupid good. And I think at the position of wide receiver, if you got a quarterback like Justin Herbert, why not get stupid good at wide receiver? Who's going to stop that duo of Justin or of Keenan Allen and Davante Adams with a quarterback like Justin Herbert? I don't know, man. So it's absolutely possible that the recruiting efforts by Keenan Allen could result in a Davante Adams to the Chargers. Absolutely insane. What's the likeliness of this happening? I know I usually save this for the end of the video. A lot of people ask me, like, director, I know you're hyped. I know you're an excited Chargers fan, but what do you really think the odds are here for the Chargers to swoop in and grab a Davante Adams? I'm going to say at this point, because if you watched my last take on this Davante Adams topic, I think I gave us like a 5% chance. A lot of things had to happen, right? Davante Adams, couldn't get extended. Maybe Aaron Rodgers leaves. Maybe more connections to the Bolts. Well, since then, a lot of stuff of that stuff has happened. A lot of that stuff has developed. So at this point, like realistically, just like spitballing off the top of my head, trying to be realist here, I'll give it like a solid 20% chance after recent events, recent developments by Davante Adams, the Chargers, all that sort of stuff. And hopefully something like this gives us better odds, with Keenan Allen going out there and looking for him. But all of this, I think, is under the assumption that Davante Adams doesn't re-sign with Green Bay, right? And becomes a free agent in 2022, right? He's out there for the pickings. He can choose the place he wants to go to. He's a free agent, right? Well, what if the Chargers wanted to trade for him? I know that's another question that's going to come up in the comments section. What if the Chargers are impatient? They want him on the team now. They're in win-now mode. They want him on the team for 2021. They want to extend him, let's say, out into 2025. What do they have to do to get him on the team right now? Well, of course, they're going to have to trade. And what's it going to cost to trade? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. The only reference I can give you is, once again, the example that we got with Julio Jones and the Tennessee Titans. And what's going to shock a lot of people is that I don't think it's going to cost that much. Because, again, you have to look at it from the perspective of the Green Bay Packers. They've got a superstar wide receiver that doesn't want an extension, right? It's not looking like he's going to stay with the team. They could make it out of next season. He becomes a free agent and they get nothing. Or they could possibly trade him this season. If they're going to be losing Aaron Rodgers as well, they might be looking at a rebuild mode kind of situation. They could try and grab some capital, some draft picks while they can, because that offer is a limited time offer. Once he becomes a free agent, they get nothing. Just take a look at this. Julio Jones, this offseason, you guys remember, they got Julio Jones and a 6th-round pick, the Tennessee Titans did, in exchange for a 2022 2nd-round pick and a 2023 4th-round pick. Now, of course, the situation's a little bit different. Davante Adams is certainly a lot younger, so he has a lot more football to play than a Julio Jones. But at the same time, leverage is not on the side of Green Bay. The Packers do not have any sort of leverage in this conversation. And even more so, there's not a lot of teams out there in the NFL that could afford a contract of a Davante Adams. Is this all starting to make sense a little bit, right? The situation for Davante Adams in Los Angeles is rather perfect. He wants to come to Los Angeles. He wants to play with Keenan Allen. The Chargers have money to spend. The Chargers are in a Super Bowl run sort of window with Justin Herbert. Everything's kind of lining up to where this would be a really good move for the Chargers. Now, you as the fans, I have to ask, do you want this to happen? After explaining the cost, maybe the Chargers do decide to trade. Maybe they part with a 2nd and 4th-round pick like the Titans did for Julio Jones. Would you want this to happen? The thought of Davante Adams with Keenan Allen on the same team? I'll give you my answer. My answer is a resounding yes. I think absolutely bringing Davante Adams to the Chargers would be absolutely such a game changer, specifically in the AFC West. Broncos got a good defense. Raiders do not. Chiefs got a good defense. This is a really, really difficult division to make it out of into the playoffs. This is a really difficult division to make it out on top as the number 1 team in the AFC West. In order to plow through the stiff competition in the division, I feel like you're going to need some sort of edge. And if the Chargers decide wide receiver is going to be that edge, I think it could definitely push them over the top. It could tilt in the direction of the Chargers, and all of a sudden you're looking at one of the most lethal offenses in the league. Look what this man has done. I had it up on the screen for a second. Davante Adams. Just the symbol of consistency. Last season in 14 games. Come on. 1,400 yards almost. 18 touchdowns. Ridiculous. Last season only played 12 games. 1,000 yards almost. 5 touchdowns. Respectable. Year before that, 13 touchdowns. This number right here is definitely what gets me very excited. The Chargers need to put up more points in situations where they've got to convert in the red zone. They've got to be able to put up points in the red zone. I feel like Davante Adams can do it. He also has the potential to go out deep. He's also got the potential to get open and produce yards after the catch. Just like Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, here's his stats. You guys see something a little similar here? Right? Maybe not as many touchdowns, but holy cow. Wind him up and watch him go. 100 receptions, 104, 97. Davante, 115, 83, 111. Is there even going to be enough targets to spread around to get both these guys involved in the offense? Yep, there will be. There absolutely will be. Will it maybe push out the participation or the involvement of a Mike Williams? Maybe a little bit. Of a Jared Cook? Yeah, but I mean, how much were we going to use Jared Cook anyway? He's in a super cheap contract. You know, you want to make sure you have that position covered, but still, if you've got Davante Adams and Keenan Allen on the same team, I don't know what I would do if I was a defensive coordinator in the league. I think GGs will try our best, but they're going to walk all over us. I also have to remind you guys, though, the Chargers are not the only team that's linked to Davante Adams at this point. Maybe this would be a nice, motivation for Chargers fans to get behind the idea of the Chargers grabbing Davante Adams instead of another potential rumor in Davante Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, Adams has expressed that he would maybe like to play with Derek Carr again. And if that were to happen, it would shift to power once again in the AFC West, but this time away from the Chargers and towards the Las Vegas Raiders. Don't want to see that happen, but the connection has been made. So realistically, guys, if he does become a free agent or if he's available for trade, the Raiders might be one of those guys in play. We've seen this happen with Kansas City Chiefs. There have been players that maybe would have fit very well in the Chargers, and they end up going to the Chiefs, winning Super Bowls, etc., etc. Some people would say they would rather have the Chargers sign somebody just to keep them away from our division rivals. I think it goes well beyond that even for me. I think Davante Adams would be such a great fit for the Chargers. And it's just a bonus that he would be, away from the Las Vegas Raiders, that the idea of him with Derek Carr is no more. So in the comment section below, guys, should Chargers fans want this? Do you guys want this? Let me know in the comment section. Do you want Davante Adams? Again, with the details of how much he would cost, the cap space, maybe even the trade as far as draft capital, what it would cost to bring him over. And my second question is, would you rather wait until he's a free agent next season? Because that makes a little bit of sense too. The Chargers got Mike Williams for his fifth-year option. The Chargers look pretty good at wide receiver right now. Or should they go after Davante Adams right now, be aggressive? Because, again, it makes more sense to go after him next season when he's a free agent. You have to give up any draft capital. You know what I mean? We have Mike Williams. Or they can get aggressive and go after him right now. The window of opportunity could become right now. Because if the Chargers were to add Davante Adams to the roster, you bet your butt their odds to make the Super Bowl just went way, way up. So in the comment section, let me know your guys' thoughts on the topic as well. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Sorry it's been a little bit slow the last week. I got family in town. Want to make sure we get some quality time in with them. But I will be coming back on Sunday for our Sim Sunday episode versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to have Melvin Ingram on that roster. Then hopefully things will go back to normal again sometime next week. But get hyped, guys. The Chargers training camp coming up. The preseason's coming up. The season is just around the corner, and this channel is just about to get started with some of the real interesting football content. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time, and as always, bolt up and stay frosty. Come on, Keenan. Bring home Davante Adams.